and we are off. Wave bye to everybody on the bell line. Say bye, everyone. We'll see you guys in just a few moments here. I do have a co-host for my tour. You guys can recognize him from the Tonight Show as well as That's My Jam. Can y'all give it up for Mr. Jimmy Fallon?
Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Mr. Hollywood.
And the greatest driver.
Richard.
You're the best. I love that. Even though
Mr. Hollywood
owes me $5.
Well, hold on, Jimmy, $5.
You guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
Now, Jimmy, I don't know if I can give you $5. I might need to keep that. Things are getting a little expensive nowadays, but I can go over our safety rules for our wonderful guest here, all right, folks? Now, listen, if you need a guest assistance, oh my gosh, I'm stumbling my words already. Have a medical emergency if you drop something of value off the side of the tram. Any sound or video issues, reach up and grab the red E-cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram. I'll be back to assist you guys as soon as it's safe to do so, but otherwise, during the entire tour, please remain seated and keep those arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times, all right? Now, the studio is private property, so if you guys do manage to drop anything, please remain seated, all right? And remain seated, and I'll try to help you guys out as best as I can. And of course, if you guys have to use the restroom, pull the cord, and I'll be back to assist you as well. Now, be prepared. Our tour today is going to feature loud noises, sudden trail movements, fire effects, and of course, many water effects. So have those cameras out for great photo opportunities, but please keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. And for your safety and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you are on board. Now, we are leaving the theme park behind, and we are heading into one of the busiest and largest movie studios. Welcome to Universal Studios Hollywood, folks. Now, there's another photo opportunity right up here. You guys can see Super Nintendo World down there. Hey, can we give a big round of applause for Super Nintendo World real quick? Mario, Luigi, and the gang are all down there ready to hang out with you all. So if you guys haven't visited Super Nintendo World, I highly recommend. Now I like to do a couple of fun things on my tour, all right? Called energy checks, all right? Because sometimes, especially you dads, like to fall asleep during the tour, and then you guys end up missing some of your favorite things that you guys get to see here. So throughout the tour, you guys might hear me say, let me hear your loudest woos, and all I need you to do is scream at me. We're gonna practice right now. The firefighters are here, making sure that they're keeping us safe here on the lot. So can y'all give them a big woo, give them a shout, give them a cheer. We are super safe and lucky to have them here on our lot. But my favorite part about the station is that it's located next to the poster for Backdraft. Somebody obviously did that on purpose, and whoever did, I just felt like perfect placement there. Now, I would do you guys a disservice if we didn't talk about what's going on over here on your left-hand side. Obviously, you guys are looking for your Fast and Furious fix, and don't worry, folks, it's coming, all right? You guys can see they're working real hard to get that roller coaster ready for you guys, all right? But if you guys want to hear more about it, definitely come back soon and check us out. And definitely keep your eyes and ears open in the media, because you guys might not know, or you guys might see some cool stuff coming up soon. Now, we are heading into the front lot. The front lot is where a lot of the business happens, but it's also where a lot of our interior scenes are. This is where a lot of our sound stages are. Now, our oldest and largest one here, soundstage 12, is the, as I just said, oldest and largest one here. And so a lot of things I used to film inside of that soundstage, Frankenstein, Dracula, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and Couples Retreat, all borrowed that building and were able to film scenes in there. Now, I bet you guys are asking yourselves, well, how are we able to utilize all these different buildings for so many different movies, and you guys just never really know? And that's because all of our sound stages start off like this. Blank canvases. So literally, they start off empty, and then our directors and our set designers, costumes designers, and everybody else go inside, and then they figure out how they want their set to look. Once the set designer and the director figure out what they want, then everyone in our mill here works hard and tirelessly to build the large and extravagant set pieces that are then moved into the building. So some of these scenes that you may think take place outside are actually taking place right here inside of these buildings. Now the cool part is that although they start off like this with all these lights on, we can actually put our own lighting inside of the sound stage, and we can decorate it and stage it and light it however we want to, or however the scene calls for it. Now, over here on your left-hand side is Soundstage 14, home to the cast and crew of Bel Air. And matter of fact, here are stars of the show, Ollie Charlton and Jabari Banks, to let us know what all goes on inside of their soundstage here.
When you get some eggs, you put egg on the cheese. You put cheese on the eggs, on the cheese is right.
Whoa, how many seats do you think are in there?
I don't know, it's gotta be a lot.
Yeah, you
could probably fit the whole Bel Air cast and crew in there.
You know, we gotta get one of these for the mansion.
For sure.
You're lucky for y'all. The Banks family mansion lives right here on the Universal lot.
Right. Some of Bel Air's most pivotal scenes have been filmed right here. Jabari, what have been your most memorable moments?
I don't know. I mean, there's so many to choose from. You know, I love the foyer set where Will first enters, and at that moment, his life changes forever. What about you?
Well, the Bel Air Academy gym set is here too, and I remember you had me sit in that cold ice bath for hours.
Yeah, and that was really fun. I still can't feel my toes. No, but seriously, my favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together from hair, wardrobe, makeup,
Set design, props, and transportation.
Transpo. Yes, yo, Transpo's the best. And they have the sweetest vibes for us to play with.
Speaking of, if we're gonna get a ride like this, we better go talk to Transpo now and let these people get back to their tour.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. As long as I get to drive.
Oh, not if I've got the keys.
Oh, nothing wrong.
Come on, man.
So as you guys can see, a lot can be built and then put inside of a soundstage. And as I said, it's built in that mill right there that we just passed by here. Now this is just another little restaurant that we like to have here on the lot. Now we're 400 acres, so you know, we gotta have places all over so our cast members and crew members can have a snack and have a break. Now there's my boy Ted. Can y'all say what up to my boy Ted here? Ted actually has his very own TV show on Peacock, and season 2 is gonna be dropping soon, so make sure you guys check out that as well. Now coming up here are our production bungalows. Now remember how I said the front lot is where a lot of the business happens and a lot of the interior scenes happening? This is where those business things happen. Now, this is where a lot of the pre-planning work happens. So this is where they would do a lot of casting, writing, editing, scripting, all of that kind of good stuff. Matter of fact, here are the stars of How to Train Your Dragon to let you guys know what goes on inside of Soundstage, inside of our production bungalows here, excuse me.
Here they are, studio tour. I'm Jared Butler.
I'm Mason Thames.
And I'm Nico Parker.
You know, these bungalows to your left are actually production offices.
Home to some of Hollywood's biggest filmmakers, including Mark Platt, one of the producers of our new live-action movie, How to Train Your Dragon.
Everyone wave. You might be there right now.
And if you haven't already, be sure to meet the iconic and beloved Toothless over at Deposit.
And see our movie only in theaters June 13th. Get your tickets now.
But in the meantime, here's a sneak peek.
Everything we know about dragons is wrong.
You ready?
How to Train Your Dragon, rated PG, in theaters June 13. Get tickets now.
Now guys, Mark Platt is killing the movie game right now. Bringing you guys How to Train Your Dragon, and of course, our last box office hit here at Universal Studios, Wicked Part 1, starring Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo. And we also passed by Bungalow 5195, which is home to famed director Alfred Hitchcock.
You said if you move into that office. I said, no, I can never be in Hitchcock's office. I should be a fly at a museum.
Very excited just to know that he was there and walk by and know he was in that office. Hitchcock is every director. I saw Hitchcock once walking around the commissary.
Hitchcock had his bungalow on the lot. I used to go see Alfred Hitchcock.
I loved working with him. I highly respect him. He really understood fear and terror. The birds, that was a really scary movie.
Birds? Oh, man. That had me looking at crows like for the next 10 years.
Psycho, of course. Vertigo. One of the all-time great masterpieces. Hitchcock was master.
Man, Denzel's right. I haven't looked at a bird the same since, personally. Honestly, I'm under the impression that birds aren't real, but we're not going to talk about that right now. You guys came for a studio tour. Now, here is our Metropolitan sets. This is a 4-acre section of our backlot where we have everything from main streets, alleyways, town squares, hotels, banks, movie theaters, restaurants. Anything you guys can find in a major metropolis or small town in the world, you guys can find it right here. Now, you guys can recognize a lot of these sets in some of our comedies, like St. Denis Medical. That's why this area is built to look like a hospital. But you guys can also recognize Brownstone Street here as the neighborhood Jim Carrey lived in 2003's Bruce Almighty. Take a look.
Grace, the dog!
Inside bad, outside good. Inside bad, outside good.
Oh, you're done now. Great. B-E-A-U.
Beautiful indeed, Jim. Beautiful indeed. Now, as I said, these sets, well, I should say these beautiful sets are recreated and redecorated for multiple productions at a time. So that's why you're able to see what looks like Brownstone Street or what looks like St. Denis Medical. Can also look like just a random neighborhood in New York. Well, because that's where we are heading down right now, New York Street.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. By an old woman. A tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey, buddy. How's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey! I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
And Jimmy's right. Our New York Street can literally substitute for any sort of big city. This one strip of street here can substitute for places like Chicago, even London. Now we're gonna head somewhere else, all right? We're gonna take our little tram up to an island I like to call Skull Island. Now there's a special guest here to welcome us, all right? Can y'all give it up for my good friend and famed director, Mr. Peter Jackson?
It's the original King Kong that made me want to I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up in adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island, and it's great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
And if you guys remember, this way, right in front of us, this used to be the area you would go up to and see all the cars, all the production cars in the Jurassic area. They moved the 4 Spittle dinosaurs into the Jurassic ride for now, so we're not sure if that area will be coming back, but there's some fun history for you.
We really put a lot of thought into the character and personality of Kong, and he's so much more than a monster. In fact, he's not a monster. He is an incredibly majestic, ancient creature. He's a force of nature. He's old, he's wise, he's proud, he's fierce, and obviously he has a heart. The most important feature with Kong are his eyes. Kong's eyes are wonderfully expressive. They're full of emotion. His eyes are like a window into his personality and his heart. He's had an enormous number of encounters with his foes, the T-Rexes and the various dinosaurs on Skull Island, so he's been beaten up, scarred, chewed up, spat out by these dinosaurs at various times, and he wears the scars of a lot of ancient battles.
Peter Jackson directed the Lord of the Rings trilogy back in the day, and then King Kong. I think it's been almost 20 years. A long time, I think, since he's directed his own film. But he has been producing and doing a lot of other stuff. And they used to let you go through this model right here. Yeah, it was at the part where they would part the waters and you could go through and see the illusion of how they filmed that.
The island
hey, go ahead and get those 3D glasses back on, you guys, and kick back and relax, because we are heading back onto Skull Island. Now listen, if you've never been to Skull Island, get ready, because I'm going to tell you about one of the world's marvelous creatures to ever exist. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Now, folks, we did get a report of some sort of a dinosaur situation happening out here. No need to fret, but just in case, keep your arms and legs inside the tram. But like I said, relax, and welcome back to Skull Island. Now, as I was saying, Skull Island houses... Hey, Richard, is it just me or are these dinosaurs looking at us? Oh my gosh, hang on! Hey, is everybody all right? Woo! Hey, can I get a woo? Woo! Oh, thank goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, that was King Kong 360 3D. Filmed on some of the world's largest 3D screens, standing at 40 feet tall and 180 feet wide. That scene was brought to you all by Peter Jackson and the team at What Effects. Now, you know, What Effects has been killing the special effects game, getting their award for giving their 7th Academy Award for the film Avatar: The Way of Water. Let's give a big round of applause to the team at What Effects, because here they are to tell you about how that 3D scene came to be. Let me hear you guys, folks. Woo!
The audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know what people are looking. They're looking straight ahead. They're looking at the shot that we're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this live, unlike the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts. Because it's one giant shot, this tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, because it's a hell of a ride.
And man, what a ride our buddy King Kong has been on indeed, alright? Just starting out, terrorizing the folks of New York City, you can now see King Kong hang out with the likes of other movie monsters like Godzilla. So, I mean, our boy is moving on up in the world, alright? But we here at Universal Studios are known for a different kind of movie monster, alright? We're known for the ones that are creepy, crawly, scary, ugly, disgusting, semi-beautiful at the same time. All of the above, alright, folks? The ones that keep you up at night, but simultaneously the ones that you also dress up as for every Halloween. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are the home of the horror movie monster, alright? The likes of Frankenstein, Dracula, and even the Bride of Frankenstein, all born and filmed right here. Now, what you guys are about to see here on the right-hand side is a painting painted by artist Tristan Eaton, which pretty much is an homage to all of those classic horror films that put Universal Studios on the map today. Take a look, folks. Also, get those phones out.
Part of the process of designing these murals was getting to go to the Universal Archive. Going there, I got to see in person props from the movies, photos from behind the scenes, original illustrations from those movie posters, all this stuff. I had an early affection for movie monsters. I was always fascinated by the magic behind making movies, but I fell in love with zombie movies and monster movies as a young kid. My world that I come from is skateboarding and graffiti and comic books. You always have to pay homage to where that art form started. And for me, it started painting stuff in the street illegally, tagging billboards and dumpsters. Without that, I never would be here using spray paint like this.
Now, another area that houses another Universal movie monster is actually right over here to your left-hand side, home to the horror movie Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is our beautiful Hollywood ocean here. Now, he actually just had his 70th anniversary last year in 2024, and he and the rest of our Universal Monster crew are part of our legacy of horror films and part of our new dark universe at Universal Epic Universe, which just opened in Orlando last year as well. Now we're going to talk about this set here in just a few moments, all right? But what we're going to do now is we're going to head from one sea creature to another here. Well, hopefully not to another. All right, we're gonna actually take a little vacation over on Amity Island. How does that sound? Can I get a yeah? Woo! Okay, awesome. All right, it's summertime. Amity Island is back open and ready for you all right, and actually this year marks the 50th anniversary of the blockbuster film Jaws, which took place in Amity Island. Before we head over there, let's check in with Police Chief Martin Brody though, make sure everything's all safe and good to go.
Hey, what are you doing here? You may have noticed the sign saying beach closed. Look, we've got a rogue shark on our hands. What? And I don't need a bunch of bystanders or looky-loos on the beach.
Hold on,
I've already got Mayor Vaughn breathing down my neck.
But,
now, Amity's best diver, Officer George, is out there.
Oh,
But
okay.
I can't have you making noise and causing a commotion and distracting him. Because if that shark gets past George, you're gonna need a bigger tram.
I'm not sure what that was about, folks. I thought they said they had everything taken care of. Okay, nobody panic. I'm sure it'll just stay there in the water. Like he said, George is right there taking care of it. George, are you all right, buddy? Do we need to get you some extra help? George? George, just don't move. We'll get someone to help you, all right? I'll call the captain. Just don't move. That's not what I meant, George. That's not what I meant. Okay, Hey everyone, listen, no need to panic. Like the captain said, it's just a shark, alright? It can't do that much damage to us. Listen, we'll pull up behind these gasoline tanks. Matter of fact, I read on Google, if you don't move, sharks actually won't attack you. So listen, nobody move, everybody stay calm. We'll be fine, just whatever you do, please do not panic. Okay, I lied, everybody panic, we're not gonna be fine, everybody panic, we're not gonna be fine! Oh my gosh! It's a shark! Well, ladies and gentlemen, that obviously needed no introduction. Can y'all say bye to Bruce, though, the mechanical shark? Everybody say bye, Bruce!
Bye, Bruce.
So Bruce actually gets his name, fun fact, after the lawyer, Bruce, that Steven Spielberg got for the film Jaws, because let's just say the original mechanical shark gave him a little bit of problems in the actual ocean, all right?
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio waves. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark worked well enough for a while there.
Yeah, so I mean, if you guys thought Drake and Kendrick Lamar had the biggest beef of all time, it's actually between Steven Spielberg and the mechanical shark. But no need to fret, because unlike our rap stars here, the shark and Spielberg made up and created movie magic. Now, speaking of movie magic, we're going to show you a little bit of magic right now. This is my favorite part here. We're going to talk about weather and how it plays a huge effect in movies. And ladies and gentlemen, this storm right here, not even the likes of Storm from X-Men herself can recreate. Boom. Our very own rainstorm in the middle of Sunnyside, Los Angeles. Now, when filming in a setting like this, well, when filming in any setting, we always utilize what is called a boom mic. as used to pick up every single little bit of dialogue because we need to know what our characters were saying. But with this in the background, we wouldn't be able to hear a single peep. So things like that, as well as the strobe lights and extra filters, would be added in post-production. And obviously that thunder effect would be added in what is called a sound effect. But all right guys, I think you guys can go ahead and cut the water. I think we got the point here. Yeah, guys. Oh no, they used too much water, folks. We got a little bit of a flood, but I think we should be fine. Just hang on. Now folks, that flash flood can be seen in action right here on your screens from the film Big Fat Liar with Colonial, Amity, Frankie Muniz, and Amanda Vine. Yeah, we'll see about that. Now, do I happen to have any Lady Gaga fans aboard the train this afternoon? Where my little monsters at? Can I get a woo? Well, my Lady Gaga fans can recognize that flash flood effect in the Judas music video. Yes, when she gets hit by a gigantic wave towards the end of the video, in which she did her own stunt, by the way. That happened right here on the Universal lot. Now, this is where some of the music video also takes place, but you guys can also recognize this most notably in the film Nacho Libre, starring Mr. Jack Black. But we're going to take a little trip on down south, and no, this ain't Texas. Like Beyonce said, it's actually 6 points. Because here at 6 points, we were able to film 6 different westerns on the 6 streets that made up 6 points. Now, because everything was filmed in the silent era, we were able to bring in live studio audiences to cheer on the good guys and boo those pesky bad guys.
This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Jimmy Fallon.
Well, I ain't going anywhere, Jimmy Fallon.
Now look here. Nice folks in this tram don't want no trouble. They just want to check out 6 points, one of the oldest sets on the Universal lot.
I hear this is where John Wayne and Jimmy Stewart shot a few of their westerns.
That's right. That's where I aim to shoot you.
Looks like we got ourselves a Mexican standoff. Lucky shot.
Now what say you mount up and get out of town?
All right, we're going. But listen, folks, I got to tell y'all something real quick, all right? You guys paying attention? You guys with me? So, we're going to go check out our very own soundstage right now. But before we get there, we're going to have to pass by a little bit of an obstacle. That obstacle being some live filming that's happening. Now, I have to take myself off the microphone, and I'm going to put this screen up. This quiet zone is not for you guys, it's just for me. You guys can talk amongst yourselves, they won't be able to hear you guys, but if I get on this microphone, that director's going to come out and cuss me out, all right, folks? We don't need any of that kind of stuff happening, all right? So kick back, relax. I'll be back on microphone here in just a moment. Talk amongst yourselves, and hopefully we might be able to see a little action of what they're filming over here, all right? There we go. Okay. All right, folks. Welcome to Soundstage 50. What? You know how California is, folks. Just a little tremor. I'm sure it'll pass in just a second. Uh-oh. What happened to the power? Okay, looks like we might be actually having a small earthquake. I'd like to stay on for a second, all right, folks? I'm sure it'll be fine. Probably not to tell you guys it's a 2-level soundstage, huh?
little bit of a bump.
Everybody good? You guys all right? Woo! Can I get a thumbs up? Call for you guys good back there? All right, all right. Well, folks, I couldn't talk after that. Check in with you guys, make sure everybody was all right. But that was Earthquake, all right? That attraction originally opened in 1981 and has stood the test of time since then. And actually, we just revamped it, gave it a nice facelift and a makeover, and that's why it kind of looks like we're in the San Francisco BART station. Now, of course, we're not allowed to call it that, and that's because legally, San Francisco BART was actually fined during the big earthquake of San Francisco, so they legally told Paramount as well as Universal we're not allowed to call it the San Francisco BART station, but we are allowed to call it the Universal Metro train station and have it take place in San Francisco. So just a little fun fact for you all here. Now we're passing by the Chicken Ranch. This is one of our most notable practical sets. Now I forgot to tell you guys what a practical set and what a facade is. Now a facade is actually right here on the side of it. This is what you guys will see when we don't need to actually film inside of a building. But the practical set is what the Chicken Ranch is. So we can actually film inside of that building. We can film upstairs, downstairs, and utilize that entire space. Now, speaking of more practical sets here at the Universal lot, we're going to head down Colonial Street, all right? Now, Colonial Street has had many, many names for many different productions. But most notably, you guys can recognize the wives living here on Wisteria Lane from Desperate Housewives.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor. What the heck?
Now, funny enough, the wives of Desperate Housewives have actually had many different neighbors from many different productions here on their street. Now, this bright yellow house that we're passing by, you might recognize as Davy's house from the Netflix series Never Have I Ever, starring Raji Ramakrishnan. But you can also recognize this bright blue house in the Ted TV series.
Let the festivities begin.
How many we got?
Well, let's see. We got 20 cartons.
Fantastic.
Do you think we're getting too old for this?
Come on, Johnny, we're doing a public service here. If a kid leaves the house in a less than stellar Halloween costume, he's got to get the bad news before he makes a fool of himself all over town. We're Samaritans.
Now, a couple other families and friends that have made homes here, you guys can recognize here on your screens, but my favorite one to mention is the fact that this is where Nelly filmed Nellyville, or most notably Dilemma, with him featuring Kelly Rowland on that street as well. Now, speaking of awesome streets that we are going to be driving along here, we're heading up what is called Wilderness Road. Now, Wilderness Road actually lives up to its name both on screen and off screen here. Now, off screen, we do have a lot of wildlife that actually like to run through the lot here. We've seen the likes of deer, coyotes, even bunnies, and goats up and down the lot. But over here on your left-hand side, you can recognize it on screen in the film Bird Box. When Sandra Bullock and the kids are blindfolded running through the forest. They were filmed right here in this tree area. And you can recognize the road itself in an episode of 911 starring Angela Bassett, in which her character comes to take care of an overturned limousine. Now that limousine is what we would call a picture car because it is a vehicle that we are seeing actively used on screen. And of course, we're no strangers to vehicles and picture cars here at Universal Studios. I mean, one of our biggest franchises is all about what?
Fast and Furious.
Cars, folks. Come on, y'all. Speaking of, let's go ahead and show you some of our most iconic picture cars here. Starting us off is the 1964 Glamour Tram, followed by a couple of cars from the Gyrosphere from Jurassic World, and the Fry's Electronics car from Jordan Peele's film Nope. Now we also have our biggest franchise to date. Dominic Toretto's Black Dodge Charger, Paul Walker's Blue Mustang, and yes folks, the Orange Julius does actually come complete with the ejector seat. And we also have a couple of Transformers hanging out, an Autobot and a Decepticon chilling. That's something you don't see every single day, but I hear they set aside their differences so they can go ahead and beat Megatron up. Now ladies and gentlemen, as you guys all may know, we are a couple months out from a very, very special event. You guys have been seeing it all over the news. You guys have been seeing it all over your social media feed. Yeah. Hey, do y'all? Is that? I think that's my boy Norman. Hold on. Hey, folks. Okay. Now listen, Norman does agitate a little easily. So when we get up there, quietly tell him hello. Also, make sure you guys check out the top left window of the house. Mama Bates likes to hang out up there, so make sure you guys say hi to her as well, all right? And tell her she looks pretty. Please. Please. Or Norman will... Okay, we're getting there. Hold on. Hey, Norman. How's it going, buddy? Man, I feel like it's been so long since I've seen you, buddy. Well, Norman, we just got here, buddy. I told you he agitates easily. Norman, stay on that porch. Do not... Cardboard? Oh, thank goodness. I told you he agitates easily. We didn't even get to say anything. You notice we didn't get to say anything, y'all. But anyways, folks, welcome to my favorite set here at Universal Studios. This is the set of Steven Spielberg's film, War of the Worlds. Now, I could tell y'all all about this set because it truly is one of my favorites, but I'm gonna let the man himself tell y'all how this beautiful catastrophe came to be.
Perfectly set that is all designed around the vision of Steven.
We sit together to sit down and talk about the war of the world. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
And speaking of something that you don't see, Mr. Spielberg didn't want any of the actors to see the set at all. So what you're seeing right now is their real life reaction to the set. So I don't know about Robbie's reaction here. This is a little...
Get in.
See, Robbie has it all wrong. I would have been in the passenger seat and we would have been out. All right, folks? But listen, this set is still being utilized to this day. If I have any fans of Miss Ariana Grande, she just filmed her music video for Supernatural in this set right here, where she's getting lifted up like an angel going over up to heaven. That's exactly where she filmed it at. But a set like this takes a lot of attention to detail. And Universal is no strangers to working with directors whose attention to detail is immaculate, all right? We have, directors like Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson, but we also have a newcomer just recently join us. You guys can recognize him, we'll recognize his set here, Jupiter's Claim. But here to welcome us real quick, give it up for Miss Keke Palmer.
What's up, Studio Tour? I'm Keke Palmer from Jordan Peele's film, Nope. What's a bad miracle? Well, you'll have to see our movie to answer that one. Until then, I hope you enjoy your visit to Jupiter's Claim.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the winking round and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? What? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience, built to showcase an unbelievable live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy cupola, welcome to the world of Yo.
Well, that sounds terrifying, folks. So actually, Jordan Peele wanted the sound design to play a huge part for his film Nope, because sometimes it proves it's what you don't see that is just as scary as the things that you do see on screen. Now, normally this would be the part where I would tell you all to buckle up and get those 3D glasses back out, because we'd be going in for a little bit of a tram repair here in Sullivan's truck garage. But in case you guys, didn't hear me earlier, our boy Sullivan has actually got himself an upgrade, all right? And you guys can see it at the middle of the park when you guys head on in there. They're still not done with it just yet. So like I said, if you guys are waiting for that Fast and Furious fix, don't worry, it'll be done soon. But please, 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 don't forget to catch up on all the films, catch up on all the movies. But this is the end of the tour here. All right, I do appreciate you all for joining us, taking some time out of you guys' day to come and chill and hang out with us down here at the studio tour. Now be sure to make sure you guys tell all your friends and family members, that didn't get to join you guys today, your guys' favorite parts of the tour. But also, be sure to make sure you guys document your favorite parts as well. We love to see your guys' posts on social media, especially down here at the studio tour. And we love to show you guys what goes on inside movie making, all right? Not everything is as it may seem, and sometimes things are just as simple and not as complicated as it looks in the movies, or as the movies make it look. Now, for hundreds of years, Universal has been thrilling you guys, making us laugh, cry, and sit at the edge of our seats. As I was saying, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us down here at the Universal Studios tour. If you want to purchase any of the movies and TV shows that you saw on the tour today, make sure you guys visit any of the retail stores or visit www.uphe.com. Now, on behalf of myself, Mr. Hollywood, my awesome driver Richard here, and everyone else down here at the studio tour, we'd like to thank you guys for joining us. And as we love to say here in Hollywood, that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Now, can you guys give yourselves a big round of applause for being such an awesome tour crew today? Woo! Now what we're going to be doing now is heading down to the load line, all right? Make sure you guys check those seats out, and you guys have your phones, keys, wallets, cell phones, backpacks, fanny packs, souvenir wands, souvenir robes, souvenir popcorn buckets, drink containers, Galinda wands, alphabet hats, and anything else that you guys may need as well. Now, unfortunately, I'm not a Marvel film, so I don't have any post-credit scenes for you all. When the tram stops, you guys got to get off. I'm sorry. But hey, I do appreciate you guys for joining us down here, as always. Now, if you guys are looking for an awesome place to cool off, definitely head on over to Waterworld. And if you guys want to see the show times for Waterworld, check the wait times and more. Make sure you guys download the Universal Studios Hollywood app. As you guys are getting off here, make sure you guys thank our studio tour ambassadors. They're the ones that are making sure that you guys are getting on and off the tram safely. Woo. And I think that's all I got for you guys, folks. So everybody named Jack and everybody not named Jack, hit the road for me, please.
Like, subscribe for more content.